Count you all in. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, the amazing Dr. Donna Louise Thomas-Rodgers, daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to Tuesday. It is your morning mental workout, and today's topic is Ask Dr. Donna. We are always sponsored by, the lives are sponsored by the elements H2O. So when I say drink water, you will drink water too. Let's go ahead and get our first iteration of water in today. Drink water. Okay. We are at Ask Dr. Donna, and the criterion for being here today is to have 6 questions ready to go for me. Good morning again. Like TikTok, just dropped all my comments. Just a mess. What happened? What's a mess? Your TikTok comments were a mess? I'm confused. Oh, TikTok dropped all your comments. I understand. It was doing it to everybody. It's because you see what happens is, I think if you we're going to try experiment. Remind me of this. Throw some shade, say you ugly, and then put your comment. Let's do that tomorrow. So before, say you ugly, you stink, and then put the comment, and let's see if it shows up. Rise and shine on presence. Greetings. Yes, greetings, Teresa. I don't know why I want to call you Jessica. I'm so sorry. It just will keep on to roll off. I don't know where this is coming from. So yes, let's try that. Attempt to do that tomorrow. No comments showed up, and we don't know the words to use. Right. So just say ugly. You ugly. Da 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 da. You stupid. Dummy. Don't say dummy. Say you ugly. Say ooh the wig, and then put the comment, and let's see. Yes, that's right. Exactly. It was my soldier. Yes, ma'am. So if I remember Teresa Christopher, then I can remember. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. So that's what we're going to attempt, Lacey. See if that works, because all the troll stuff comes through. So I think it has to have some troll mechanism in it, and then we'll be able to see it. So if that's the case, then everybody's comments should start coming through. Okay, so we are at Ask Dr. Donna this morning. And good morning, Daisy, if I didn't say that to you as well. And we are good. Good morning, real leaders. Today, the morning mental workout is Ask Dr. Donna. One of the most expensive habits a brain can develop is pretending to know. So see, ladies and gentlemen, after what we talked about on TikTok and the photos and everything that I showed y'all, and then we have boogie time here saying, what the fuck is this? So see how much work I have to do, and then I have to come here and contend with this. So I couldn't see none of Lacey's comments on TikTok, but what the fuck is this is showing up on YouTube. And so my brain is like, what the fuck do I do with this imbecile? We're both wondering what the fuck this morning. That's what we're both doing. And that's why I get angry. The 120 years other people were to ensure that this didn't take place. They were supposed to plant trees for which shade I would not have to sit, but I'm out here in this desert sun in the Sahara trying to find some water because they didn't plant enough resources for me. My brain is like, what the fuck am I looking at? Okay. What the fuck are you looking at? I can't say that about you because you a chicken shit and you don't have a profile photo. So I'm looking at a fucking coward who won't have a real username and using a letter for their thing so they can hide in plain sight. I'm looking at somebody with no inhibitory control and a lot of disinhibition effect. That's what the fuck I'm looking at. I'm looking like at a little bitch ass coward. So I don't know what you're looking at, but that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at somebody avoiding their life and coming over here disrupting my shit because you said yes to a bunch of fucked up shit in your life that you trying to avoid now. So you done created this alter ego on the internet so you can feel better about your fucked up existence. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a grown-ass motherfucker with a toddler brain trying to start shit on the internet this morning because they ain't got shit else to do with their life. That's what I'm looking at. So I know what I'm looking at. You haven't figured out what you're looking at yet? You don't know? I can tell you, the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth. That's what you're looking at. But you about to be looking at some other shit because your bitch ass about to get blocked. Okay? So that's what you get. Take a picture. Get a screenshot and get the fuck off my live. You are missing something on TikTok, and yes, ma'am, you do need to get the app. Yeah, what time zone are you in, Teresa? Yeah, TikTok is everyday brain. So over there, I talk about everyday things. Over here is morning mental workout, so it's a more advanced workout over here. So TikTok is at 4, same username, and then it's over here. Now, what you can do in lieu of being on TikTok, if you go to but then you wouldn't be able to interact. So you have 2 choices. You can watch the TikTok live. It's at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or you can watch the everyday brain playlist. That's where all the TikTok lives go after they're recorded. Yesterday's would not upload from my phone, so I'm gonna have to do it from my computer today. But that's where we are. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. So I was saying that on TikTok, and then here we come with the troll demanding that I explain something to them, treating me like I'm anything but a child of God. Hey Sarah, how you doing? Literally set an alarm for this. Hello, great. I'm in California, West Coast. Okay, so then you can get up at 4 if you like, or if you're not, that's not something that works for your schedule. Again, the replays are always there. It's the everyday brain playlist is where all of the TikTok lives are, because it's everyday brain for everyday life. So I talk about everyday shit over there. Okay, so the point is, as I was saying on TikTok this morning, literally this is what's happening. So it's demonstrated to everybody. I'm in Operation Watch My Own Shit. Pulled up a graphic from 11 months ago. Graphic. Nola thought it was a college course, and then she's like, "Oh, yeah, I remember them lives. Yep, it's a good thing you changed, because I could go back and understand it, but we weren't understanding nothing that you was talking about this time last year. So I had to make adjustments. So I was talking about all the work that I've had to do to take that very academic work, turn it into something palatable for you to be able to digest and actually implement. And I said, in the midst of all of that, see, here we go. Again, what are you gender? I'm a hermaphrodite. I'm both. B-O-F. I'm both genders. Now what? I can't pick a side. I don't know which one I want to be, so I'm a hermaphrodite. What you gonna do with that? I get up at 4:30, but then I have morning rituals and about an hour breathing, meditation, praying, that kind of stuff. I try to be ready for 5. Yeah, don't interrupt your morning routine for that. You can watch the replays on the everyday. Yes, but again, you can watch the replay. I'm a hermaphrodite. Now what are we going to do with that, Baked Beans 34? Yes, I am gender fluid. I got both parts. I got to have a good time with myself. Yeah. Anything else before your bitch ass get blocked? Okay. I think that's going to be my response going forward. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. But I got air and opportunity up in this bitch. Yes. Okay. So now, at any rate, yes, worked my ass off, and here we come with some reductive ass, stupid, ignoramus questions. The same questions every day from a new stupid motherfucker. But I digress. So one of the most expensive habits a brain can develop is pretending to know something it does not know. Many unnecessary problems begin with people guess, assume, avoid asking, or substitute confidence for competence. Good morning, Monique. A real leader principle that we use all the time is, if you don't know, ask. We got to ask Dr. Donna 7 days a week. And on Friday, it's Ask Dr. Donna and Ask Nola. Questions create clarity. Questions create better decisions. And better decisions create better conditions. So what's happening when you ask a question? What are you doing in the brain? When you ask a question, several parts of the brain go to work. Miss Darlene, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, becomes active because she has to identify what information is missing. Miss Brenda Jones, the anterior cingulate cortex, helps detect uncertainty and signals that more information is needed. Mr. Memory, the amazing hippocampus, searches for what you already know and helps connect new information to existing knowledge. If you were on TikTok this morning, you saw that graphic from last year to this graphic from this year. Both were made in ChatGPT. Obviously, Chat is on 5.5 and its updates. However, I'm on 5.5 too. Hence, the graphics were better and easier to digest neurologically. So when people stop asking questions, Oscar often fills in the gaps with assumptions, guesses, and shortcuts. When you stop asking questions, Oscar's gonna say, that's all right, hold on, hold my tea, I got this. I'm gonna go ahead and start assuming shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me, fuck it, I'm gonna just guess. And we just gonna take some shortcuts. We ain't gotta do all that. No, just take a shortcut. So the brain learns more efficiently when it is curious than when it's pretending. So people pretend to be smart, people pretend to act like they know what is taking place, or they could just be curious. They could be curious and actually know, and then increase what they know and increase their skill sets and increase the capacity of their brain. And that's a beautiful thing. Every quality question strengthens your ability to think. What? So you saying every time I ask a question, I'm actually strengthening my ability to think? You are. It's strengthening your ability to learn. And it helps you make decisions objectively because you have more information. So you are coming and asking the hippocampus, hey, well, we already know. But do we know this? And if we learn this, can we attach it to something that we already know? Yup. Okay, cool. Go ahead. Say less. Learn more. So questions expose knowledge gaps. If you don't know, ask. And right now, where is this at? I could say psychically all day long. Wrote it down on a piece of paper. And you want to know what my orthographic processing center keeps saying? Psych chick alley. Psych chick alley. I can say psychically. No problem. Put it on paper and I'm fucking it all the way up. That's why yesterday it would not register. I even told Teresa, I'm not saying it correctly when I look at it. If I don't look at it, I got it. So what do I know? I know that I have a deficiency in my orthographic processing center because I researched it. New words. I'm going to flip stuff around. I'm not dyslexic. It literally is with the basic phonetics of the word. So as soon as I practice it 3 to 5 days, I got it. And then I don't need it anymore for most words. Subjugal is still kicking my ass. Everything else I got. And so that's why I told y'all about it. So it's not like Dr. Donna can't read. Dr. Donna can read. But some words just flip it around for me because of the basic phonics, and I will start looking at it from a spelling perspective. It causes you not to be able to spell some words correctly. And I say, I can just spell, I fuck up bigger words now. The little words don't bother me. It's stuff like oligodendrocytes and dopaminergic. I'm like, fuck, how do you spell that? So my brain has improved. However, the basicness of it is still this. So that's why I said, what is that? She put it in the message. I wrote it down. I heard it. But every time I look at it, I see psych chick alley. So I will continue to work on it. So when this word shows up in the future, I will be able to read it properly and say it properly. If you don't know, ask. And so I had to ask Google because that was a knowledge gap for me. Knowledge gaps create opportunities to learn. So you saw in real time, even with me being Dr. Donna and reading 11 years straight and all the other brain terminologies and things that I say, that deficiency is still deficient. Learning strengthens your neural pathways. I know more today than I did this time last year. I know more today than I did 16 years ago when I left my corporate job, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, because I'm ABLing. Always be learning. Stronger neural pathways improve your decision making. So I got a lot of neural pathways. That's why I can make a decision in real time, read questions, call audibles, get rid of trolls, change a lesson midstream, because I have high decision making. And better decisions improve your outcomes. When you have a why and a strategy, your outcomes will be better because you will be able to assess what you're doing and you'll know why you're doing it. Good morning, Dr. Oligodendrocytes. So real leaders are not afraid to ask questions. I don't care who has the information. I'm going to ask you. I don't care about looking like a novice or uninformed. If you got information that I don't have, that I believe is value added to my work, I'm going to ask you, whether you like me or not. I told you my favorite teacher in high school, Dr. D.L. Gibson, could not stand me, and I did not give a fuck. I registered for every class that she taught. I sure did. They are afraid of, they are afraid of real leaders are afraid of making avoidable mistakes because, wait a minute. Real leaders are not afraid to ask questions. We are afraid of making avoidable mistakes because we failed to ask. So I don't care who has the information, as I said. I would prefer to look uninformed and like a novice from the person who knows than to let Oscar talk me into some shit I don't know, and now I'm fucking up bigger shit. If you don't know, ask. If you don't know, ask. If you don't know, ask. So remember, not knowing is not the problem. Refusing to ask is the problem. Everybody has a brain. Your attention is a resource. Now, I understand that somewhere in your schooling, you might have had a teacher that wasn't an educator. You asked a question that made you feel stupid, so you stopped asking. People in the class made you feel stupid for asking questions, and so you stopped. And you got to the job and you stopped asking questions. You myelinated what you know how to do. Monique was finding herself in her profession needing to ask more questions about work while she was at work. She started asking more questions. She started getting more positions and started getting more lead positions in her profession. So that's how it goes. You ask, you become more competent, you increase your technical competence, and be technically competent is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So do that. Ask because you don't know. Doesn't matter if 55,000 people know, you don't know. So Sarah asked yesterday, what is the orbital frontal cortex? Once she became a member, and now she knows. Now she got the graphics of everything. So if you don't know, you ask and you will have your answer. With that being said, go ahead and start asking your questions. And for Sarah and Teresa, is 6 questions every Tuesday. If you don't know, ask. The criterion for the questions are personal development questions about yourself, or if you have questions about real leadership in this work, those are the questions. So this isn't Ask Dr. Donna, interview the Pharaoh, not what's happening. You are asking questions based upon your last week into this week, how things are going about yourself, and then I am giving you my best answer. Sometimes I will tell you to ask your AI because I want you to have that neurological experience of getting that answer for yourself, because I believe that it will end up being a conversation with yourself and your AI. Trusty dandy handy AI. I use chat. You can use whatever you want. And now what you'll find yourself is actually in your default mode network, and you will be self-reflective, which will allow you to be self-corrective. All right. Dr. Oligodendrocytes said, when bringing 2 very different sides of a problem or 2 people with different vantage points into one working decision, what strategy does Dr. Donna employ to get them integrated? So what we do, thank you for that, Dr. Oligodendrocytes, is you actually have a brainstorming session. So it's not an actual work meeting. So the brainstorming session says, we need to solve this. We need to create this. I will use myself and Nola as an example. Now, with Andrea, and I don't know if she's on here, when she said, if you ever have merch, you should make a sticker for this. And Nola has been on team merch for a while, and I'm like, fuck that, everybody's selling shit. You can't buy real leadership. So now Chat, Nola, Andrea had me thinking. That's three data points. Okay, maybe this is something that I need to explore. So currently, we are working on a merchandising shop. That's what I'm going to say, because that's not what it's called. But we're doing that. I was going to launch it on August 1st. But yesterday, as we were doing more work, I said it's going to have to get pushed back to the 13th. And the 13th is an unlucky number. It's a beautiful thing. So, and Nola, you're hearing this. I said this on TikTok. I slept on it. I woke up. We agreed that it was going to be on the 13th. But here's why. It's the 13th year of me going solo dolo. It's August 13th. That was the year that my sister and I parted ways. And 13 years of grind. people have negative connotations about the number 13. So why not launch it to make 13 actual positive experience? So on August 13th, it will be ready. Currently, there are 6 products in the is what it's called. Right, 8-13-13 is when I walked away. And now 13 years later, I'm like that. So so it is August 13th because I wanted it, 13 years later. And so we might even do a 13. No, let's do something with a 13 on it. So make that note. So basically what I'm saying is we literally had to sit down because this is not something that we've done and say, okay, what is it going to be? I know it's a why, but what is it going to be? And so we started putting ideas out there. We then went to shop. It's going to be a shop store. You got it because Nola had a shop store. She had a fashion line at one point. So go back in, see what's changed. And now let's sit down and decide what's actually going to be in the store and why. So all ideas are good ideas. If you want to meet virtually, you put it up on a virtual whiteboard and you come together and then you take every idea and play it out. Is this going to be a good idea? Why would this work? Why would it not work? And then also make sure that it matches your 2 levels up. Because if it's business, you're thinking small, you're thinking right now, but you need to be thinking 5 years from now, 10 years from now. How will that play out? And then you need to develop a screening criterion for ideas so that the ideas go through that screening criterion. And that's how you ensure that you are being objective and you are collaborating. You don't want to compromise, say, well, I don't want to do it, but fuck it, you got more experience or you got the money or whatever that is, because that's going to create friction later on. So you really want to say, here's what's happening, sleep on it, come back, and then be able to say, this is how we're going to get this done. So let me know if I've answered your question. Jared said, what is the best way to evaluate a speech? Are you the evaluator or you are evaluate your speech or be a speech evaluator? So clarify that before I answer the question. Dr. Olagun said, when a decision is made, what strategy does Dr. Donna employ to move into action immediately instead of letting it sit as a good intention or suggestion? And put a date and a time to it. If the decision is made, so Andrea, I messaged her. She told me what the thing was that she said put on the actual the sticker and the concept of it. I told Nola, go look at shop, see what's changed. Go ahead and set up my account. And we started immediately. And then with days off in between, we picked 3 products, put them in there, found out about the printable part of it and all of that. And then as we're off, we are now, yesterday, sat back down, looked at everything. Now I'm about to start designing the graphics for those items. And now we have the banner up for what it is. We got to make some adjustments to it. So it's start with the date. Do it now. So as soon as it's done, we're starting tomorrow. We can start today. That's why, for example, people, yesterday, Sarah was on here, started Neuro Reps yesterday. So the only time is now. So you get a date and a time to it, and that's what you do. You do it right then and there. Shopify. I keep saying it wrong. I signed up to be a speech evaluator. Okay, great. So what you're going to do in your manuals, Jared, is should be, and it could not be, but it used to be, in the back of the manual, of your main manual, it tells you what to do as a speech evaluator. So if that's still there, somewhere in your main manual, it says, here is the objective of a speech evaluator. That is what you use to actually evaluate someone's speech. Now, you can also use the sandwich method, as you all have looked it up. The one thing I don't like about the research, everybody looks up the sandwich method, it says constructive criticism. There's nothing constructive about criticism. It's actually feedback. Feedback focuses on the behavior and the performance. That's it, not the person. Constructive feedback is always going to attack the person. That's why online it's like, well, here's the problems with the sandwich method. There's nothing wrong with the sandwich method. As soon as you take out constructive criticism and make it performance-focused feedback, you're good to go. So you use that evaluation criterion. It has to be in your main manual still. I would not imagine them taking that out. And then what you want to do is actually give them a review of the actual speech. So keep it on the speech and the mechanics of speeching. So giving a speech. So if they did blocking, if they transitioned well, and whatever their topic is. So if it's use gestures, did they use the gestures correctly? Did they finish on time? Did they start in middle and an end? And was their vocal variety enough pauses? So when doing that, keep it on the actual speech, the topic, and the presentation of the speech itself, not the person. Okay. Dr. Olagun said, when dealing with something important that runs into conflict or misalignment, what strategy does Dr. Donna employ to stay locked in, speak to her values, and maintain the relationship? It's handle conflict when it occurs. It's handle conflict when it actually occurs. The hardest thing to do is engage in a relationship with the person. And that's that. That's that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to come back to that. So what's happening is it's merging ideas that are different, because embrace diversity is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And so what you have to do is understand the other person, and the other person or persons has to understand you. So what I would do if it were a working relationship is I would go to have meals with the person or have conversations with the person about things that have nothing to do with the thing that brought you together. So that's why I ask y'all about your family, how old you are, where you're living at, and all of those things, because that gives me context as to what makes that person up. You can ask questions like, how do you learn? How do you handle conflict? What's your best method of communication? And now you understand. Like for some people, that's why there's audio, there's digital graphics, physical graphics, motion graphics, video, and written blogs, because people learn differently. So in that, that's how you can communicate best with them. So you want to ensure these are my no debates. You sit down with people, even when I was dating people, here are my no debates. Here are the things that are going to make it so I'm not fucking with you. That's why all of you, if you haven't watched that video, here's what's important to me. No, or tell Jared, somebody say what the actual name of the video is. You need to watch that video if you have not watched that video and you're level 1 through 5, and you need to comment on that video, because that's what's important to me. That's what matters to me, is you implementing my shit. You can do a whole bunch of other stuff and think you're doing great and wonderful. If you're not implementing it, you're not going to be over here. So that's what you have to do. You have to be honest with the person or persons, and everybody has to respect that, and then find a way for you all to be working together. And you just remind people, they remind you, and you respect people's boundaries, and the main thing has to be the main thing. All right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, from TikTok. So Tanja1234 is probably long gone, but that person has woken up and decided, let me go over here and randomly throw 3 throw up emojis on here, like boo, boo, throwing tomatoes, throwing tomatoes, throwing tomatoes. And so these are the things that I have to contend with, as if I haven't already taken very hard to digest scientific information, turned it into something that's reachable to people. And now, because that group, who in theory are the educated ones and the behaviorists, didn't do their part, I'm now met with an obstacle that shouldn't even be here for me, because they did not want to be discomforted in their work. So now I have the discomfort of their work, the discomfort of my work and my life, and now I'm met with a behavioral issue that shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. So that's troll number 2 today. Now, I did have some blocked people that I don't know what the fuck they said, but that part. On question 2, date and time that resonates. A date is definitely a difference I am seeing. Thank you. My pleasure. And see, now here we go again. So this person, and they're probably here or not still here, so they want to say, goddamn Michelle Obama. That makes absolutely no sense. It's a man's world. So do you see that? So do you see why sometimes my anterior mid-cingulate cortex can use my willpower to go ahead and just remove it? But if I've used my willpower to research something, push through my own things that I'm continually working through, I don't have any more willpower left for somebody else's Oscar-fied brain. So these adults woke up once again and decided that this was the best neurological option for them, to see someone who presents as African American and then say, Michelle Obama. Okay? This is just ignorant and absurd. And then to say it's a man's world. So once again, I'm being reduced in their minds to my ethnicity and my physical appearance. And it's annoying because it's actually the same. It's in the same category over and over and over again. Remember the first person, what are you? And I say hermaphrodite. Now they don't know what to do with that. So that is the part, in addition to the natural discomfort of this work. And now I'm met with another obstacle daily after 990 days that still needs to be removed because of that first graphic y'all saw versus the second graphic. Nobody wants to actually do this part because this is the hard part. While life is lifing and people are peopling, ensure that the brain is still braining. This is why this trolling has become academic. Nola said, it is a good idea to reinvent pre-existing products. Is it a good idea to reinvent pre-existing products to improve them? Yes, Nike is doing it right now. They didn't went to the 90s catalog and just remade all them fucking shoes. Hell, we just bought shell-toe Adidas. So yes, ma'am. Sarah said, I choose to make my start day with the real leadership principles to be my sobriety date as well yesterday. What kind of Neuro Rep will help me when I feel the cravings coming? It's not actually a Neuro Rep. Doing the Neuro Reps, did I give you, I think I sent you the addiction PDF as well. If you could check to make sure that you have it. So what is going to happen is you are still going to, first of all, the cravings. I don't like that terminology. And I'm Al-Anon. Okay, let's be clear. Has sponsored, did my 12 steps and all of that. So let's be clear. I'm speaking from having qualifiers in my life and sitting in AA and NA meetings. And I told you that yesterday. I resemble that remark. People taking their cakes and all that, got that down to a science. So here's the point. The recovery process, and Lacey and Andrea too were, Lacey's a foodie, Jerry's a foodie, but Lacey's even more of a foodie, was or is, because she's recovering. In recovery, while you're recovering, the 12 steps are very beneficial initially. And then what takes place is the process is when it's calling me, you wake up, you call your sponsor, and you do all of those things because it's already there. This work eliminates or minimizes that neural pathway. So right now you got this monkey on your back, big ass giant Coke 45 malt liquor, whatever your drink of choice is, Absolute or whatever, and it is there. So let me explain to you what's happening neurologically. You took your first drink whenever you were. Lola just had to publicly admit what she was doing with cigarettes way back when she was knee high to a June bug. And so you took your first drink and and then you felt some phasic dopamine. You said, oh, this is good. I like, this tastes good. So you kept doing it, and then you myelinated it. So whatever the trigger was, whether we're going to a party, we're going to a cookout, we're turning up, I'm sad, I'm happy, whatever, drink. So what happens is, on my shirt, you can see it, this myelination, this yellow around here, is on this axon. It makes the action faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, to the point where you already pouring up, you already drinking, and you ain't even realize you just drank a fifth of Absolute. Lacey said it happens in milliseconds and it's faster than a heartbeat. So now you don't even know that the craving was there because it already happened. So that shit is heavy. It's 300, 400 neurological pounds. So this work is to strengthen the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, where the actual decision making for consequences and repercussions long term is taking place. Your orbital frontal cortex don't give a fuck. Consequences be damn, bitch. Turn the fuck up tonight. Praying to the porcelain god. Swollen liver and all of that. My daddy died from cirrhosis of the liver at 43. My grandmother died from cirrhosis of the liver at 53. He used to drink Coke 45, 40 ounces. She used to drink a fifth of Wild Irish Rose every day. So I'm talking from experience. Now, the Neuro Reps strengthen your decision making in the executive function. So the cravings that you talk about have been myelinated. You're not even paying attention to them anymore. You're already drinking. That's that. So go to some meetings, talk that through. Long term, instead of being a dry drunk, because my sister was a dry drunk, she was unfucking bearable. So that ain't good too. I ain't drinking no more, but you mad as shit because you can't drink no more. That's not gonna work. So what does work is continually doing neural reps. It takes 8 days to create a neural pathway, 21 days to make it a habit in the basal ganglia, and 42 days of actual implicit implementation of it. So this is not something that's going to stop by August 13th, because Ms. Darlene is weak. She is weak because of a lack of inhibitory control. So alcohol is an inhibitor to the GABA neurotransmitters, which are inhibitory neurotransmitters. So every time you drink, The thing that tells your brain don't drink is weak because the alcohol inhibited the thing that's saying stop, don't drink. And then the decision-making region of your brain is weak too because Oscar has said, let's drink, let's drink, let's drink. And so he's super strong. He's strong as fuck. And so the Neuro Reps are waking Miss Darlene up. She's like, and her, what happened? We up? And so you are bringing her online with the Neuro Reps. And the objective is to make her stronger than these cravings that everybody keeps saying. So you might be able at some point by the end of the year, walk down the grocery store aisle, past your drink of choice, and your mouth waters, and Oscar say, hey, go ahead and get that Ciroc. It's sitting right there. And Miss Darlene gonna say, set your ass down. We going to get some fucking water and some juice. That's what's going to take place. So your goal is to just keep doing the Neuro Reps. You can start reading 15 minutes a day, watching the live, but the cravings are there because you myelinated it. So Jared is about 50% now. He had, I would say 65% now. He had a honey bun habit like nobody's business. He had the job, he eating a honey bun before he realized that he walked to the machine and got the doggone honey bun. He on his second honey bun, licking the doggone, the glaze off his hand. And he like, oh, fuck, how did I end up with a honey bun? Because it's been myelinated. So there is going to be a period where the cravings are still going to be there. Stop calling them cravings and start saying that's the myelination. It's happening because it's happened so many times. So it's your brain is automatically doing it. The objective is to strengthen Ms. Darlene so she stops. The microglials come online and start pruning that habit. And Ms. Darlene says, we're not doing that. Go drink some water. Go do a brain dump. Assess why you feel like you got to drink. But the Neuro Reps and the Neuro Reps are how you bring her online. So it isn't a craving. It's actually been myelinated. All right. And I'll see whatever your answer is when we get down to the bottom. Dr. Olagun said, question 5, when feeling a strong impulse is pulling you off a commitment, what strategy does Dr. Donna employ to override that reflex and hold the line? You got to do a brain dump. You got to do a brain dump. I took the message away. You got to do a brain dump, Dr. Olagun, because what's happening is you don't want to do this thing. So Oscar's saying, relief, 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 relief. We need some relief. So you want to do a brain dump in that moment, either written or digital. You probably want to do digital because of your background. 5 minutes, set the timer, clear everything out of your head. And now you're going to be able to see why Oscar is saying Amy and Lala are like, oh no, growing. We don't want to do that. So that's what's going to help you. Brain dumps can be done throughout the day. It's not one. Notice I say, how many brain dumps did you do yesterday? Tiffany has done as many as 13 in one day. So that's her record. Sometimes she's done 5. Aletha does 3 to 4 to 5. So it's not, I did my brain dump at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I don't have to do any more brain dumps. Brain dumps are designed whenever you don't have neuroclarity. When you don't have that neutral SGACC, that's why we do it for 60 seconds a day. When you don't feel neutral, it's time to do a brain dump. Because remember, cortisol is coming, shut down the executive function, and that's Oscar's party time. You know how if you ever watch any heist movies, they say, what's the window? We got about 3 minutes before the cop shows up. So Oscar knows shit. We got about 12 minutes for that cortisol dissipates. Turn the fuck up. Do a whole bunch of dumb shit before Ms. Darlene comes back online. So your objective is, hold up, wait a minute. I don't have neuroclarity. Brain dump. Let me see what's actually happening. And that will determine why. What part of this is hard. I don't want to do this. This is conflictual. This is some new shit I got to learn. This is going to cause me to be organized, and I don't want to be organized. So the brain dump is what's going to bring you back online. Jerry said, we researched the sandwich method here. I never got a manual. I believe it is on the website. They don't give y'all manuals no more in Toastmasters? How you prepare for your speech then? How you know how to do speeches? Yeah, it's got to be on the Toastmaster website. When I was leaving, they were redoing the educational format, but we used to have a competent communicator manual and whatever manual you were working on, because you could get different topics for your manual. But in the back of the competent communicator manual, it literally told you what to do for each speech. Message me, Jared. Let me see if I still got my Toastmaster manuals. I don't know if I still got them. If I do, then I will, you can research it too. You research it first. If you can't find it, then let me know. But it has to be on the back of something, because that's how you know how to be a speech evaluator. Okay. Daisy said, Dr. Donna, when I say that I'm going to make steps for my better well-being and I don't, is this a mismatch in my brain? Yes. Here's what's happening with you, Daisy. You got to get past that trauma. You got to get to it so you can get through it. But what's happening is identity protection is real. And so the insula registers the truth as physical pain. And it doesn't want you to acknowledge who you actually are, because Oscar is saying, I'm not a bad person. I'm not doing anything wrong. So to admit that something took place is against what you identify as. So there are people who say, I want to be an organized person. I'm going to organize my stuff. Soon as you say that, the brain releases the phasic dopamine. And because you said it, you feel better for saying it, but it's not actually true. So you need to wait to release the dopamine, the tonic dopamine, until you actually do it. So you've myelinated saying, I'm going to do better. Phasic dopamine comes in. Then you go off. And you keep telling yourself, I'm going to do better. So the brain says, cool, here goes some doggone phasic dopamine. You're right. You are going to do better. You are going to do better. You are going to do better. When you going to do better? So you're giving yourself credit for saying, I'm going to do better. And the reason why you can't get to do better is because of the trauma that you're not dealing with. So there's this nice little pocket that you put yourself in, this nice little comfort cocoon that says, I'm going to get organized, I'm going to do better, I'm going to work on my business, I'm going to do all that, because you don't want to feel all that shit that you buried. So until you lift all that up, your window is ticking. Until you get all of that up, it's not an actual true statement. So you're saying it, but you're not doing it, because the thing that you have to do is Godzilla. It is Hugh fucking Normick, and you don't want to deal with it. But it's time to deal with it. Because you know, if you don't deal with it, when you finish level 4, you will not be at level 5. I have already told you that. This thing right here, that's the thing that you got to be dealing with. That part. So you're like, well, is there any other way? No, that's the only way. That's the only way. It's been long enough. It's time. And I'm not going to keep saying that on the live every day either. All right. Because I'm not going to keep reading these Neuro Reps like with Jared, that you keep saying the same 3 things over and over and over and over and over again, because you don't want to deal with that shit. My AMCC don't have too much more willpower. I need to be reading the motherfucking truth. Okay? So stop sugarcoating that shit and get that shit done 2 motherfucking day. We clear? All right. Dr. Oligodendrocytes said, when juggling several priorities at once under pressure, what strategies is Dr. Donna employed to keep the critical ones active and stop competing demands from disrupting your flow? You got to get organized and stay organized. You have to keep Ms. Darlene online. You have to say, what is the priorities of work for today? And I found this to be true, especially for new and emerging business owners when I was actually teaching them. You want everything done all at once. That's why it's so important to read the E-Myth Revisited, because it's do one thing every day that's going to make a difference in a unique way. So business owners they have all these big ass lofty goals and things that they're going to do and all of that. But in every day, you actually have to become the person that gets a $50 million contract. You have to become the person that has corporations seeking out your expertise. And that happens in your day-to-day decision making. I actually have, and I believe, and Regina may or may not be on here, I have 60-second strategies. I told y'all, I used to be on investors calls and people would be pitching and they were not ready. Website fucking wrong. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. You ask them a simple question, pass, what are your margins? And they don't understand what's actually taking place, getting fucking tripped up. That's why I did the business strategy series, so they could pitch in front of actually people who could make a difference in their business. But in week 5, they had to prepare. They had to get their PowerPoint presentation together. I had one student, I ripped her shit up so bad. I was like, you ain't ready. Don't even fucking come back next week. And she one of the only people that's still in business after all that time. And that was 2016. So you are preparing to become this person as well. So if you just say, I'm going to just do this, we're going to just do this, those are Oscar suggestions. Ms. Darlene is saying, what does it take to do this thing that I need to do? And so give yourself time to become this person. And this is getting in my way, this is getting in my way, this is getting in my way. And literally say, what's the first thing that we need to do? This thing. and get that thing completed. And then what's the next thing that we need to do? Okay, I got an alert for something. Hopefully, what's today? The 21st? Okay. The bank is sending me an alert. Hopefully we're all good. And so what's that card back? 6:45. Okay, we'll see. It is what it is at this point. So the point is that do the one thing, get that done. Do the next thing and get that done. And it should build up to the 2 levels up that you're working on. And when you're working, remember, it's the Pomodoro technique, which you might be familiar with. You work on something 25, 30 minutes because your brain can process that much, and then you take a break. And then you work on something and you take a break. So if you got to do in an hour, about 15 minutes, an hour and a half, it would be about an hour and 45 minutes. So the first 30 minutes, you're working on some work stuff. The next 30 minutes, you're working on some family kid stuff. The next 30 minutes, you're back working on some work stuff with breaks in between. You're telling people, I'm working on work stuff for the next 30 minutes. Do not bother me while I'm working on the work stuff. I'm going to come do the family stuff for the next 30 minutes. It's the family stuff. So I used to tell Nola when I was taking a nap, unless you're bleeding or a bone is protruding through your body or somebody is entering the house, do not wake mommy up. Mommy is taking her nap. So you're setting clear boundaries and you have a clear schedule for everything that you need to do. Let me know if I've answered your question. The video's name is The Only Thing I Care About. Right. Thank you, Jared. Now, let me make sure I deleted that person that was intruding upon our learning environment. Okay. Monique said, when talking about travel, am I diminishing a fear when I relate it to a different experience as an example, or just shifting the perspective of it? So what you're doing, Monique, is you are actually recounting what has taken place for you during your travel. So Monique did the travel video. She's not going to diminish herself anymore. Lacey went and watched it as a first time soon to be solo traveler, left 17 comments. And Monique didn't know what to do. She's like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Well, wow, I had that much going on in that live. I'm like, yeah, and you actually toning that one down. So you are diminishing fear because of the calming nature of your delivery. So you're not like, and then the plane didn't land. Woo! We had so much turbulence. I was like, oh my God, what are we going? You're like, and this will happen, and it's okay. The universe will make sure and provide a way. The universe knows that you're a first-time traveler. So now it's okay. It's always going to be okay. Just make sure you have travel insurance. You do your work. You check. You get a checklist. So what you're doing is actually based upon the prosody in which you deliver these messages. You're actually calming people down so they can say, okay, so I need a SIM card. All right, got it. I need some water shoes. I need a raincoat. I need a poncho. Okay, cool. I need to make sure I got some backup. I need to take a picture of my passport, my travel plans. I need to send somebody my itinerary. So you're actually making it, because of how you deliver it, you're making it seem like it's not this big hard ass thing to do. And you can plan everything from start to finish. And if you are ready, be prepared is one of the 74 principles of real leadership, then you will not diminish the fear, but you are literally saying, Susan Jeffers, feel the fear and do it anyway. And there are, even if you are a world traveler, you've been around for a long time, there are still things that you don't know, especially when you go to new places that you've never visited before. So we have another one again, a troll today, a toddler brain. Mr. Wiggleless. And I think it's interesting that the names that people choose are stupid, asinine, and absurd. Nobody wants to put a profile photo, and then Edna mode. And it's like they have their own little troll kingdom. Like Beavis and Butthead. Edna mode. So it really is the bad, stupid kid in the class that does not want to do the work because they are neurologically inept. It's sad and it's unfortunate because this is an adult brain. But again, because the people who came before me did not want to be discomforted and not make this a thing, it has turned into this global epidemic that is damaging a learning environment, a teaching environment, and also the brain of the person doing it. So if I don't address this, then Sarah doesn't go live, Lola doesn't go live, Monique doesn't go live, then Lacey doesn't have the information that she needs for travel. Because these Oscar-fied motherfuckers are stopping people because people don't want to be discomfort in their lives because these motherfuckers are guaranteed to come and say some dumb shit. But what don't we have? What don't we fucking have? Because the initial group of influencers let this turn into a thing because they didn't want to handle conflict when it occurs. And now a lot more people have access to be able to go live. And as everyday people, we don't have what we need from them. Lola has 48 years worth of building things, and we don't have that information. Sarah can't give us pottery information. Monique almost didn't give us travel information behind this, because a group of people did not want to be discomforted and say, this is stupid, stop this. And now this is stopping us. More things stopping us from becoming bad motherfuckers. It absolutely has to stop. It absolutely has to stop. I'm 10 days away from 1,000 days of being discomforted by stupid ass motherfucking trolls, toddler brains. And it was people being influencers. I was going live back in 2017 and stopped. And they were going live before that. And no one is saying, stop, you're damaging your brain. Stop, you're damaging your brain. You're not damaging me. You're damaging your brain. You irritate me slightly because the shit is reductive because y'all can't think of but 5 stupid ass things to say to me. So I'm more like bored by the shit than anything else. But you're myelinating stupidity. You're myelinating waking up and being mean to somebody else for fun. That's what you keep telling yourself. That's what you're doing to your brain. And then you want to use your brain later, and you can't use your brain because you are abusing your brain secretly on the internet. Just deal with your shit in your real life that you say yes to. It would actually work better. No, I mean to improve them like how they remade the mop, not like using your own catalog. Yes. You can do that. Steve Jobs said, make it better, make it cheaper. So you can do that because the cell phones are better now. When if you had them in the car, you had the ones where you used to have to pull the antenna up, the brick phones. So yes, improving them. Yes, ma'am. Pouring superconductors on superhighways for that action, skipping the decisions. Yes. Exactly. I think that's what you're saying. So don't skip the line and leave the skills behind. A good live that you can watch, Dr. Olagun, is stairs versus the elevator. Stairs versus the elevator is a good one. So people want to take the elevator instead of taking the stairs. That's a great live that you can check out. Jared said, how do you maintain being highly productive without burning out? You strengthen Ms. Darlene. So my Ms. Darlene is ABLing, always be learning, always be assessing. She's never not online. Even the other day when I was laid out on the floor with severe stomach cramps, I was still strengthening Ms. Darlene. So strengthen Ms. Darlene. Do discomforting shit. 990 days going live consecutively, extemporaneously for some of that, and still having this level of cognition. I am strengthening Ms. Darlene all day long. My objective is to have the strongest, most highly capable, highly functioning brain possible until after the day after I'm no longer here. So I do things that are discomforting all day long, going live and then going about my day, writing the now a brain owner's manual. So it's the hard shit that strengthens Miss Darlene. That's the only way the dentate gyrus will release any new neurons is you got to keep using the principle of real leadership, challenge yourself. And you're not challenging yourself, Jared. And in a minute, I'm going to make you read 2 books a week. So I'm giving you leeway because you're getting ready to go back to school and start your business. But you are brilliant. And now that your brain is coming back online, you are bored throughout your day. But Oscar is saying you're doing enough. And I'm saying, no, you're not doing enough. You're doing too little, not too much. And so you can read 2 books a week. You got time. That's 3.5 days and 3.5 days because of your work schedule and what happens at work. And because you're not in school yet, and that will lend itself something else because you haven't been in school in a minute. And so now you'll be able to do that. But it is strengthen Miss Darlene all day long. Miss Darlene can actually take it. She is going to love it. It's going to be a little bit of cognitive overload, and then you're going to start making it implicit, and it is always be learning. So there is no burnout. Oscar talks about burnout. Have I ever came on here and appeared to be burnt out? Where do you think that came from? How you gonna burn out 86 billion neurons that can create? One neuron can have 10,000 synaptic connections. How that's 860 trillion connections. How you gonna burn that out? It's not like this. It can't happen. We're not doing shit advanced enough as human beings to burn out 86 trillion neurons. That's not like, it's not like the water or resources. The human beings don't use their brain. So what we burning out? We ain't even at this point, we are a match. We ain't even got to a gas stove burner as far as what the brain is capable of on a day-to-day basis collectively as 5.9 billion people. We at a match. And a little one. I ain't even talking about the long ones that you use for the fireplace or the grill. I'm talking about one of the little matches. You go to the bar, they sitting in a thing that's still part of a matchbook. I ain't even talking about the ones that you slide out because those are longer. We at match level of yeah. It ain't a forest fire. It's not the fires that's happening in Canada. As far as the capacity of the brain, no. We so far from burnout. I mean, you could at that point, it ain't burning shit. It's gonna burn down to the little part of it and burn itself out. That's how, if you're talking about that, but nah. Sarah said, I understand your way of explaining works great for me. No more Craven's terminology. Nope, you myelinated it and you are pruning it. So if you need a language for yourself, Sarah, you are pruning the neural pathway of drinking. You can write that down. Tell yourself that. Pruning. I am pruning this neural pathway of drinking alcohol. You myelinated it, you demonstrated, because you have microglial cells that actually are responsible for pruning. And you are using the oligodendrocytes to myelinate your sobriety. That's what you're doing. Yes, Jared said it. I was a honey bun fiend. And see, here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, it's Grayskull. So for those of you not wanting to go live, the toddler brain is going to call you doo-doo poo-poo face. That's it. And they're going to say it, and they're going to say it differently, but it's still going to be doo-doo poo-poo face. They might say poo-poo doo-doo face and flip it, but it's still dumbass, reductive, stupid shit because their brain is wired for comfort, safety, and survival. So they're not going to leave their comfort zone to come up with a better cat. It's not going to happen. Digital brain dumps. You are giving me a simple app idea. There you go. My pleasure. Jared said the brain dump provides relief that Oscar is craving. Got it. It does. Because Oscar is making a suggestion. And remember, just because Oscar suggests some shit, it's a suggestion. It's not a strategy. Go to sleep or stay up late. Andrea said that her Oscar was saying stay up late and finish the movie, even though you could pause it and go to sleep. Was just one honey bun. Those are suggestions. Those are suggestions that Ms. Darlene processes and said, listen here, you simple motherfucker. We're not eating added sugar no more. We said our bedtime is 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. It's time to fucking go to bed. So it's just a suggestion. Don't act upon a suggestion because that's not a why, Uncle Vinny. It's not a strategy, Ms. Darlene. Why the fuck would you listen to a suggestion? You know Oscar is going to suggest the immediate gratification. Consequences be damned. Not thinking about you got a big ass meeting tomorrow. You got a long day tomorrow or nothing else. You didn't get your nap today. Oscar don't give a fuck about that. Finish the movie. Just give it to me now. Right now. I need this phase of dopamine. Sarah said, I currently have a partner, but I want to be by myself now. I just want to be 100% control of my environment at home. Is there such a thing as making too many changes at once? I would focus on your sobriety first, unless that partner is impacting your sobriety. So if that person is impacting your sobriety, then you need to get out of that environment first, because neurotoxicity will stop you from having neural clarity. So if that's your drinking buddy, then your main strategy, if you're ready, is to go ahead and seek housing elsewhere. And we come in contact with people all the time, they have to break leases or they stay. But the beautiful thing is now people have long-term Airbnbs, 31 days or more. So you actually end up renting a room somewhere for, depending on where you live, $500, $700 a month. So if you need to go, they have furnished apartments and everything. NOLA has clients with long-term Airbnbs. And so it's a very good process. Just look at their reviews. And if you need to get out, they got sheets, they got towels, a bathroom, they use dishes, and you have your little section in the house. The room has a keypad on it. You have a vehicle, they have parking for you and all of that. So if you got to go, long-term Airbnb is my suggestion while you get your shit together. They have quiet hours, 10 p.m. to 8 or 6 p.m. in the morning. Some are pet friendly, some are pet not friendly, some are smoking, some are not smoking. So if you got to leave, that's my recommendation first. And if that person is part of your qualifications of being an alcoholic, if not, focus on the sobriety. Regina says, is it difficult to go from I to we when working with people, be it a work environment or a relationship? Yes. So learn to say we is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And here is mine after having my book out for 17 years. Don't say we until we are real leaders. So Nola, and y'all know this story 50 times. She's like, let's do something, let's do something, let's do something. First of all, I was like, no, because motherfuckers say something because she's part of the LBGTQ. Then I'm going to have to go Liam Neeson's on motherfuckers. So it was more for her safety or the safety of other people than anything else. And she was like, I'm grown. I can take care of myself. I was like, okay, fuck it. Got it. Let's go ahead and do it. You all have benefited from real life on every Friday with Nola and Dr. Donna. Notice I put her name first because that was her idea. So you can't have a we if we ain't actually, and this is from the Christian Bible, you don't have to be a Christian, evenly yoked. So you can have two stuck people stuck together, and you can have two growth people growing together. But if you got a stuck person and a growth person, that's not a we. That's two eyes trying to make it a we. And it's just going to be me. So going forward or growing forward, that's what Dr. Olagun and Olawashe are doing, is they're bringing it together as a family. They're the first family that's implementing real leadership. That part. So if it's a we, it has to be evenly the same. So Nola knows as soon as the day she wakes up and stops being a real leader, chalking up the deuces and I'm saying bye-bye. Because I will not be. That's why I have that video that says, here's what's important. And I know I'm saying it's the wrong name, but I care about implementation. You stay over here when you implement and grow. When you're using the 74 principles of real leadership, you are helping me improve this research so that there can be brain teachers in college, there can be the blank blank app, and there can be curriculum in schools. So if you want to be over here for fun, you want to watch my stuff and shit, get the fuck on. Go away. Let me know if I've answered your question, Regina. I know you're watching and intermittently. You got to listen because you're doing caregiving duties. Daisy said, question, I avoid interacting with people and socializing. Is this a habit harmful to me? Yep. You know why you're avoiding and not socializing. Because that big thing that you got to do. You don't want to get close to nobody else. Nola says, is it okay to make products or services off of things people need? Yes, it is. You are filling a gap in the marketplace instead of making some shit they don't need and then convincing them that they do need it. Okay, so 1206 HP Honda A1. You can look, listen, and like, but you are not a member of this channel and you are not in levels 1 through 5. So you have not earned the right to actually comment. So if you notice, I am removing your comments because the comment section is earned by Neuro Sweat Equity. And this is not a sermon. So if you want to stay, you practice inhibitory control. You look, listen, and like, but you have not earned the right to type. You can become a paid member of YouTube, or you can start on levels 1 through 5. And just because you're a paid member does not mean that gives you unlimited comments. Yep, tell them. This is personal accountability over here. Regina said, if it takes 8 days to create a habit, does it take 8 days to prune? No, it's 8 days to create the neural pathway. The neural pathway towards the habit. It's 21 days for the habit, and then it's 42 days for the actual myelination where it's actually implicit. And I have not done research on how long it takes to prune it, Regina. That would be something. So you're coming around third on finishing up. And I'm trying to figure out why your numbers are not matching up. For you to be, yesterday you were at day 360, but I think you're going to end up with more real leader brains. And I'm not quite sure what we did initially that those numbers aren't adding up. But you should be at day 365 with RL 365, not with the real leader brain. And I counted the other day, and I think you're going to be over 365 days. So if you could check that today, and because I counted, and that when you hit day 350, you were on day like 340. If it's 60, about day 355. So it seems like there's a mismatch in the day somewhere. So I haven't been able to actually assess the prunation of it because the myelination has been more necessary. So without the myelination of the neural reps, then we can't assess the prunation because Oscar is still going to be Oscar. And so if Ms. Darlene is not strong enough, then you won't be able to prune the thing that you're attempting to stop doing because that's where the inhibitory control is. So that's an advanced experiment. If you would like to explore that after you finish up with your Real Leader Brain videos, then we can do that. Bro looks like Obama. Okay, so we already had someone that said I look like Michelle. Now I look like Barack. Which one is it? Because they're not the same complexion, gender, or anything else. So which one do I actually look like? They don't know. So again, ignorant toddler brain coming to disrupt this learning environment because they're bored. I told y'all school is not in, no sports, World Cup is over. People don't know what to do, so they've opted for, let me go fuck with somebody because this is fun, instead of actually myelinating something better in their lives. Now they're going to damage their brain, and look how damaged it is, because people keep, even though they think they're unique and different, they just keep saying the same shit because it's a troll playbook and it's stupid as shit. So you either have the academic trolls that want to come and tell you don't know what you're talking about, and then you have the hoi polloi trolls who still aren't smart enough to say something that would actually have an impact or actually be fun for me as a former stand-up comic to fuck with the hecklers. So let's remove this ignoramus and get to Andrea. Good morning again, Andrea. While I'm looking for a more appropriate job, how do I lose the autistic masking without losing my job? My Oscar is freaking out about this. So what I did when I was getting ready to leave the military, as well as Frito-Lay, is during my lunch breaks, and the good news for you is you're remote, so you can work, you're hybrid, so you can go in and not go in. And so I was working on my book. Anytime, of course, I was in charge, so it's different. Yeah, I closed my door to my office and work on my book. But I had things that the whole entire time when I was walking in the building, I would say that this is one less day that I'm going to be at this job. That's what I kept saying. This time next year, I will not be at this job. And anytime I'm not at the job, I'm working on the next thing that I was working on. And then additionally, you can say I'm practicing inhibitory control. And now you are getting different lessons because you are looking at this from a Ms. Darlene perspective. You can also remind yourself, as you look for this next job, the reason how you ended up in this job. So you make a list of, here is why I'm going to say yes to the next organization. And to quote Master P, never make a deal while you're desperate. So what are your no debates or reasonings for for yourself to be at another organization? What matters to you? Just like I said with my work, implementation matters than all the rest of this shit. So if it's not money, and if it is a learning culture where you can actually grow, then that's what you're going to do. If it's money, which hopefully it's not, because that's always a bad answer, but all the things that you don't like about this job, why you accepted all of those things, what mindset were you in when you say yes to this work? And now you're 2 levels up. So why would you say yes to another organization, and does it align with your 2 levels up? So you can say, this is not working, but how can I get a lesson out of this? This is teaching me what not to do should you become your own business owner or in your next position. So you start assessing your day, and at the end of the day saying, okay, this part was good because it wasn't all bad. Even in relationships, you got some good stuff out of it too. So now you're assessing the work, and now you have your actual no debate checklist for this new organization that you're going to, and you stay very objective. So you keep Ms. Darlene online, and you don't let Oscar and Amy and Lala be, let's see these motherfuckers and see this is why. Because what's happening is you want to take a neutral SGACC to your new job. You don't want to be in your new job and yep, this is so much better. Look at this break room, and I got more space. And don't compare your new position to your old position. That's what people do in relationships. And then you're going to miss something by using that job emotionally to get to the next job. So we have helmet and we have nice stream from In Wild. And because I haven't gotten to them, it was too long. So I'm sure they're not here anymore. They're about to not be here. But again, I'm here helping people answer questions for themselves about their business, about their growth or lack thereof. And these toddlers continue to show up and attempt to disrupt this. It's not going to stop until more people start using their brains. My objective is to normalize people having conversations about their brain. So just like they talk about their diet and everything else, they will understand the neurological damage that they're doing to themselves. This is self-inflicted neurological damage at a global level. All right. Lacey said, how does Miss Darlene see the cortisol invasion and the orchestra sing? Pictures help me see the concept. She can't see anybody playing the instruments anymore. So she's trying to imagine that there's cloudy smoke and she can't turn the page for the music. She can't see the strings. Nothing is happening. She can't see the audience anymore. So the whole picture is cloudy and some of the music sheets that fell on the floor. She don't know what note she's on. She's pointing to the percussions when it should be the strings, and all of that is actually taking place. So it's not clear. If you think you're in Michigan, you get foggy weather, you got the high beams on. Now you're moving slow because you don't know what's happening around the curve. So she's cautious because she can't see anything, so she can't do anything. All right. So we have some more ignorant people. You, Michelle Obama, you are a man. Bob, for my hair. Legalized. I'm not even about to do that. So see, ladies and gentlemen, do you see the damage that's taking place to all of these adults? Because you have to be 18 over here. And Oscar got them thinking that this is a great idea. All right. Monique said, oh, okay. Thank you. I understand. I didn't realize I came off as calming and being a thermostat. Yes, ma'am. You do. Okay. So first of all, I'm not a girl. I am 53 fucking years old. I am in all of menopause. So we will not be calling me saying, I got you, girl. That's not going to work over here. My name is Dr. Donna. That's number one. That's number one. So, yeah, that's very much disrespectful to my actual work and what I'm actually doing. So by the time I get down to the thing, if you say anything else, you're probably going to be gone. All right, Monique, yes. I was like, okay, just calm, and you answered the questions I didn't even know I had. So there you go. Monique, please remind me of what platform you're on, your name on it. Did you do that, Monique, for Regina? Dang it, Oscar, be quiet. Yes. Walked away. Monique, did you tell Regina, is Momo the Travel Fairy on TikTok, Regina? Momo the Travel Fairy. Maybe I still have a fear of being a nerd. You got a fear of being a nerd, Jared. Why? Why, Jared? We grown. Nobody gonna knock your books out your hand. You gonna drive to class and come home. They're not gonna do that. You probably got them hands by now. So if somebody tried to. Monique said, is burnout a cop out like a mental health? It happens, but it is us that cause the stress. Yes, ma'am. Burnout is an Oscar out. It's not a real thing. Oscar created it so people will sit down. Let's see. I'm burnt out. I need a break. Oh, I'm just going to go and just do nothing. Who benefits from you doing that neurologically? Who benefits from you sitting down? You get off work at 5 o'clock and for 6 hours, you sat your ass in a chair and ate comfort food and watched TV or your sports or something on the screen. So you worked for 8 to 10 hours. That burned you out. But you could that day Jared was up for 23 hours watching shit. He spent another shift watching social media. No burnout there. None. 10 hours on social media. No burnout. 10 hours at the job. Burnout. Because social media is fast. It's faster than the job. Movies, action films, and all this other stuff, Pornhub and all that going sensory overload. That didn't burn you out. That didn't burn you out. But the job where hi, thank you for calling BCST. One moment, please. Carol, the line's for you. You know, if you got an office job, it's a whole bunch of lulls in that motherfucker, unless you in manufacturing, and you still get 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch. And if you're doing 12s, another 20-minute break. But watching all the news, we got somebody, all that didn't burn you out. But the job did? Nah, that's some bullshit. Miss Sarah, buy Dr. Donna's books. You will love the power in the straight and underestimated manner with which she delivers the message. And she's just S-A-R-A. Pottery Sarah is S-A-R-A-H. All right. Dr. Olagun, I'm not sure if you were speaking to the other lady named Sarah, but my name is spelled Sara. It's different than Sarah and pronounced differently as well. But correcting people is tiring. Nope. And what did I ask you to do? I knew it. I asked you yesterday. We ain't about to do this shit. I was fucking up Dr. Olagun's name. I told you to send me a voice message yesterday to tell me how to pronounce your name. We done been down this path with doggone Dr. Olagun Olawasheyi, Aletha, Roniel. We don't do that shit over here. You better send me a voicemail today and tell me how to pronounce your name correctly. Sarah is probably something like that. I told you to do that yesterday. We ain't doing that. It's gonna have a Midwestern accent on it, but hell no, we're not doing that. You just get tired of people mispronouncing it, so you just said, fuck it, I'ma just let it be. That ain't what we're doing over here. Your name matters. Your parents gave you that name. I told you to send me a voicemail yesterday and you didn't do it. You better do it today. Noah said, is it good to go into undesirable business that are necessary? No. Nobody wants to do your business. No, there's a group of people out there that can do the work that don't think that it's undesirable and it doesn't bother them. So the whole point is to have the right people in the right position doing the right work. People go into industries that they should never be in because of a fucking paycheck or because they like the work schedule or because they like the fucking title at the job and they shouldn't even be in them fucking jobs. We got a bunch of people in the wrong fucking jobs. So no, you go where your brain is going to flourish. And not, I ain't never about to go do some shit with a bunch. I will never be a sanitation engineer. I don't give a fuck how much money it is, because my germ-phobe ass ain't about to be buying nobody's garbage. Not at all. But there are people that shit don't bother them at all. Okay, Jared said, gotta go. We'll watch the replay. Sorry for the delay. ChatGPT has been incredible for filtering down the job I want. That's awesome. What is the word, Sarah? I'm going to say that wrong. But you literally not going to be saying your name wrong. What is a word for people who are acting like they want to engage, but are really just making condescending comments? And how can I get my Oscar to ignore it? Starting to get disruptive. Asshole. That's a very technical name. Yeah, don't be ashamed of us, Mr. Jared. We make the world go round. What's that about? So they're asshole. And so again, and how can I get my Oscar to ignore it? You're actually not going to get your Oscar to ignore it. I've been trying to ignore trolls for 990 days. What you do is you strengthen Ms. Darlene again, and you practice inhibitory control. So your personality resides in the prefrontal cortex. And when you start being more of who you are, then you will have the inhibitory control to not ignore them, but dismiss them. And so part of it is, I haven't done this in a while, but you can cough if you need to excuse yourself. So you go, people will start handing you water and then you excuse yourself. If it's a person that you can block, you block that person. If it's a person that you have a peer relationship with, then you can say, allow me to reintroduce myself. Those things that you are saying to me are no longer acceptable. Should you decide to keep saying those things to me, then this relationship is going to end. So you can be honest and you can tell yourself about that. Monique told Lacey, thank you so much. I couldn't believe how helpful it was. I told you that. And now what I said to you in the morning made more sense after you saw what she said to you. Dr. Olagun, we take names and say them correctly here. Sarah, if you send it to Dr. Donna, we will learn how to say it and spell it. Apologies. Noah said, no, I'm saying it's undesirable to other people, but I'm passionate about it. Yeah, then you keep doing it. Your work, you definitely, this shit is anybody want to do my work? Don't nobody want to do this shit? Good morning, Shree. You're right. I will send the voice recording. I myelinated not correctly. I definitely spelled that M word wrong. Yes, it's Myelinated. Don't worry, I spelled a bunch of shit wrong. I know what you meant. Greetings, Dr. Donna. Yes, the comment was the nerd. Oh yeah, shit. Right. With respect to the nerd flavor people. Let me go back. Let me go back one more. Don't be ashamed of us, Mr. Jerry. Yeah, we make the world go round. Yep. All right. Any other questions before we go to our SGACC and get our statements in and get on out of here? So no, it is unacceptable for us to not pronounce your name. correctly. Like I said, with my Midwestern accent, we're going to get it as close as possible. Spell it like it was meant to be spelled. You do not have to do that shit no more. Not at all. You have been accepting it, and it is unacceptable, and it's reductive. And every time somebody say it wrong, it stops you from being the real you. Any other questions before we go? All right. And people only, and let me explain something about being a nerd. Nerds can only sit in certain businesses and remember that movie Revenge of the Nerds, some of us when we in the 80s. And people want to make fun of nerds until it's time for nerds to do nerd shit. Then they want to go back. And now Oscar-fied motherfuckers, Oscar is the only one that's making fun of nerds because Oscar is a fucking goofball. And nerds make Oscar feel insecure. So that's where this whole notion of throwing people in lockers and shit. Motherfuckers ain't try to put me in a locker because listen. That wasn't about to happen. That wasn't about to happen at all to this day. But I am openly 100% out and about this shit. For sure. All right. So Monique and Dr. Oligodendrocytes, and then we're going to go ahead and do our 60 seconds of SGACCing and close it out. So great questions today. We have not had a lull in a moment of people asking questions that are actually allowed to ask questions because you've earned the right to ask questions. Because think about that, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody could just come over here and say anything, how would we learn anything? If there was always somebody saying something, we wouldn't accomplish anything. Nothing would ever get fucking done if there was not rules of engagement over here. I caught some changes to your pronunciation lately, Dr. Donna. I am quite quietly impressed. Okay, thank you. I'm working on it. I still go back and listen to it. And again, it's because of where I'm from. Midwest people drop the endings off of words, so we say nothing instead of nothing, and we make TH's F's, throw in the cut, and there you have it. So I am working on it because it is a growth opportunity for me. I never want to disrespect anybody's name. If you want to be called purple, yellow, orange, I want to make sure orange that I say it. And then my brain is going so fast. So I'm attempting to slow it down, but it's like a fire hose. So then the words, that's why I'll do a stutter step and a double Dutch. Because it's like, hurry up and say all of this. Hurry up, hurry up. You got a short period of time. Get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out. So I'm contending with all of that. Good morning, Desmond. And Monique has something in Desmond, and then we'll go to our thing. And as always, if you have to go, you have to go. And these things are here. As I watched the live from last year, 11 months ago, it was interesting to see. And let me see if Monique said, I want to share stories about travel. Is it okay to mention when it was Real Leader Principles and share it came from Dr. Donna? That's what I used if it comes up. Yes, ma'am. You can actually say it's a principle of real leadership from Dr. Donna. Thank you for asking. Yes, ma'am. It is perfectly acceptable. Desmond said, Dr. Donna, when were you first introduced to the brain? Was it overwhelming to you? Well, first of all, I was 13. And it was my Science Olympiad project. So that was back in February of 1987. I had a lot of shit going on back then. My mama was in drug rehab. I was living with my aunt. My sister was living with my godmama at that point. And so the first time, I would say I had a whole bunch of life shit lifing. Life was lifing and people were peopling and the brain was braining. So in that instance, no. My pleasure, Monique. I was actually not, because it was focusing. It actually was helping me stay regulated in a very dysregulated environment happening with the crack years and my mama being a crackhead for 18 months. So no, initially. When it actually, and if you look at older videos, I was talking about the brain intermittently. When it became overwhelming to me was this time last year. And the reason why, and that's why if you watch the TikTok live, I have the graphic of what I was teaching versus the graphics that I had to start making. The part that is overwhelming is to take this very academic, sterile, nerd out environment that is very reclused and take that information and turn it into information that the everyday person can comprehend because there's no foundation for it. So if I say 1 plus 7 is 8, people that went to school had basic math. But if I say dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, like, the fuck is that? So taking that very, very high level academic work and then understanding it myself, and then say, okay, so how can I teach this to people from various different backgrounds? That's the part that was actually overwhelming for me, because I'm like, but my background ain't neuroscience. Then I found that certificate, and I can learn anything. That's the beautiful thing about the brain. Everybody can learn anything. And because of my leadership, because of my ability to educate people on topics that I'm unfamiliar with, I have to take that. We're not in the same classroom, so I can't watch your body expressions and you looking confused and all of that. So there are all these learning challenges, but technology is here, because if we all had to come together, I still wouldn't be able to talk to the diverse group of people that I'm able to talk to. So the overwhelming part is, for 120 years, people had this information that the brain was plastic. And because of taking this theory and turning it into practical applications that people could actually use, nobody did that. That's the part that's overwhelming to me, because I'm starting at kindergarten when my work was supposed to start at college. So imagine being a college teacher and you got to teach people A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. That's the part that's overwhelming to me, that they didn't do their part to make it so I could do my part. If they got y'all to 70% understanding of the brain, I would be focusing on that other 30% to get y'all to 100%. So I did have, hopefully it came to me. Yes. So I'm gonna show y'all. Let me turn this light out so you can see. So for those of y'all who missed it, here are the two graphics that I would like to show you. Okay. So this graphic right here, if y'all can see it, is how I used to teach. So I can't have the selfie light on and y'all see that. So this time last year, 11 months ago, this was the graphic that I was using for YouTube Lives. And it's about self-actualization and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I realized that people were having a hard time extrapolating information from that and using it. And now we have this graphic. So see how that's much more palatable. It's much more easily for you to understand. So that was the part that was overwhelming. So let me see if it'll, yeah. So we go from this very academic, high level cognition, shit you can't fucking understand or use, to that. So that's the part that's overwhelming. While life is still lifing, and to get you to be able to get it where you are and assess it in the system that I developed. Okay, any other questions? We're going to go ahead and go do our 60 seconds, and let me know, Desmond, if I answered your question. All right. I'm counting you in. 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and type "everybody has a brain. My attention is a resource." I'm going to come up with a name for the trolls, because the trolls like that name. So I wouldn't want them to get a phasic dopamine boost from me calling them trolls. And I think I'm going to call them the damaged brains. Here goes some damaged brains. Look at the damaged brains out here damaging their brains. Look at them. Look at them just damaging their brains. Look how much damage is happening in these statements. In your chat are going to get a name for them that they're not going to like. That Oscar is going to be hot as fish grease and going to create some friction in the ACC. It's going to be a reductive ass neurological name just so they won't want to do the shit no more. I'm not damaging my brain. Yes, you are. Look at the brain damagers. Oh my goodness. Yep. They getting a name here within the end of this week. We're going to have a name for them. I see you're damaging your brain today. I see you woke up and said, I'm about to damage my brain. I'm going to give them a voice and everything. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a damaged brain. Dun, 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 dun. Look at him crawling on the floor like a peasant. Everybody has a brain. My attention is a resource. Anybody else type it and I just can't see it? Hello? There we go. Everybody has a brain. My attention is a resource. 2 separate entries. Once you do that, you can go ahead and type what you did to strengthen Miss Darlene and what you did for fun. Everybody has a brain. My attention is a resource. What did you do to strengthen Miss Darlene? And what did you do for fun yesterday? Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen, there is a brain damaged person talking about my wig. This is such a shocking comment. We have never heard someone do this before. This person is a genius. They are not damaging their brain at all. They are not repeating what has been repeated for the last 990 days. No, everybody, they're talking about my wig. What shall I ever do? Perhaps I will never come on the internet ever again. Oh no. A damaged brain tried to say something to a non-damaged brain. What will I ever do? Oh my goodness. My feelings are hurt. Wow. Ouch. Damn. That hurt. Stop hurting my feelings. Please. Stop talking about my wig. Now stop damaging your brain, you ignorant motherfucker. Get rid of them, YouTube. All right. I strengthened Shri said I strengthened Miss Darlene by deleting old files and backing up my computer. Awesome. Yeah, the thing about the doggone trolls is they actually don't want to be trolled. And we found that out. And we've discussed that they don't. And don't want to improve what they're saying. At all. Just want to say it. Doo-doo poo-poo face. Shut up, doo-doo poo-poo face. You stupid doo-doo poo-poo face. I'm not your friend no more. Okay. Got it. Roger that. I'm not damaging my brain. Yes, you are. You myelinated, you going to demonstrate it. You're going to need that motherfucking brain, and it is not going to be available for you. All right. What did you do to strengthen Miss Darlene? And what did you do for fun? And if you're typing and it's not coming through, go ahead and type wig and then type it. Wig, comma, and then type it. Ugly, comma, and then type it. And see. Shri said I sang for fun. Yeah, if it's not coming through. The AI is like, ain't nothing going on over there. Go ahead and type doo-doo poo-poo face. Ugly wig. And then type your answer. Ugly t-shirt. Ugly lady. See if that happens. I'm not damaging my brain. Bro, I was on some old lady's live and she talking about we're damaging our brain by typing and being a troll. Ask chat. That's what I'm going to start saying. Don't believe me, ask chat. Chat, what are the benefits of trolling? What is the neurological impact of trolling on a daily basis? Let's see what answer you get. See what happens. If chat says, this is a good idea, keep doing it. Keep waking up every day looking for mean things to say and do. All right, my attention is a resource. Everybody has a brain. And additionally, what did you do to strengthen Miss Darlene? What did you do for fun? And if you type, what did you do for fun and what did you do to strengthen Miss Darlene, go ahead and list how many brain dumps you did and what you did to put respect on your brain. Dun, 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 dun. This is slow going today. There we go. Andrea said, I strengthened Miss Darlene by going to bed on time. Monique said, I strengthened Miss Darlene by persevering through times of adversity with my travel planning. Yes. Okay, and again, if you've already done your strengthening and for fun, Nola said, I strengthened Miss Darlene by being honest in the moment when my Oscar was mad. Okay. Andrea said, to have fun, I played about 15 minutes of video games. Got it. Shree said, one brain dump. Nola said, I had fun by watching rugby vlogs and skate park videos. All this time, I know you've been typing that. I thought you've been saying skate park, P-A-R-K. You've been saying skate park videos. Nola said, I had one brain dump. And what'd you do to put some respect on your brain? And once you answer those questions, go ahead with the last final questions, which is, what did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? What did you learn today? And what did you learn about yourself? Monique said, I had fun by taking my mom out for dinner. That's awesome. And I did one brain dump, and in hindsight, I should have done more of them and made a note of it moving forward. Yes. I put some respect on my brain with a 2-hour nap. Brain dumps are the business. Brain dumps are going to keep Ms. Darlene online and strengthen her. Every time you do a brain dump, you're saying, Oscar, shut the fuck up. Let me see what's happening. Let me assess the situation. And Ms. Darlene, and this will help you. Now, what's also going to happen is you're going to strengthen your insula, because how you get to a brain dump is because you ignored the alerts, the body sensations that was taking place, and you ignored the friction because you're used to enduring a certain amount of compromise. And so Noah did that with her dishwashing gloves. So you literally are used to some type of friction. So you're ignoring it because you're like, well, I'm at work, here goes some friction. Well, I'm at home, here goes some friction. So by the time it gets to a brain dump, can you just imagine how many alerts you were getting from your body and from Miss Darlene saying that this is friction? So that's why you have to do it throughout the day, because literally you are enduring and compromising, and that's no brainer. All right. Yes, Nola said a 2-hour nap. Shree said, I put some respect on my brain by giving away that piece of cake I wanted. That's beautiful. And you practice inhibitory control with that as well. Daisy said everybody had, okay, I forgot I wasn't reading those parts. Nola said, I learned today that it's actually good to provide products and services for people's needs. I thought it was morally wrong, but you cleared it up. It's actually bad to make people buy things they don't need. Right. Andrea said, I put respect on my brain by stopping myself and doing a brain dump when needed. One brain dump from Andrea. Nola said, I learned about myself. Being passionate about the undesirables needs will help people keep me in business. Yes, ma'am. Don't nobody want to put that shit together. Anybody to put something together this year is you and Bridget that like it. Everybody else is doing it because out of necessity. Sarah, I know I'm saying that wrong again. I'm going to have the start to pronounce it correctly today. I acted on learning how to do Neuro Reps, and I laughed with a coworker. That's great. Daisy said one brain dump. What did you do, Daisy, for have fun and put some respect on your brain and strengthen Ms. Darlene, because those are not on there. Monique said, I tapped into my creativity and shared it to put some respect on my brain. Beautiful thing. Andrea said, I learned about myself that I had been masking without even knowing it. I thought I was being professional. Okay. Got it. Here's what I will say. And I've asked this on LinkedIn. If y'all don't believe me, Lola is on my LinkedIn. Y'all can go check it out. Why you just can't be the real you? Anybody ever asked that? Why you can't be the real you to get shit done? I'm not saying be respectful. Sarah, do I need to send you the brain dump video? Because you need to start doing them, especially with your alcoholism. You actually got to start doing those today as well. If I didn't send it to you, because I sent it to people, a lot of people in my DMs, so it goes down in the DM. So anyway, remember that song. So why you can't be yourself? Why? 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 Ms. Darlene has the ability to process a lot. Why you can't be yourself while you doing a job? Yes, there needs to be a dress code from safety perspectives for jobs. People need to have on fucking clothes when they're doing their job, unless they're strippers and then you don't have on clothes. I get that. But why after that you can't be yourself? Why? Why you can't decorate your cubicle with pictures and stuff that matter to you? Why? Why you can't do that? Somebody almost ran me over in the pathway in the crosswalk at Whole Foods, and I had choice words for him. And it was two moms there covering up their children's ears, and both of them had on them poom poom running shorts and midriff shirts with their ass and their titties hanging all out, covering up their kids' ears. I said, okay, so you can cover up your kids' ears, but you can't cover up your fucking ass. That's what we worried about in this moment. They mama is a hoe. And you worried about me saying, motherfucker, you almost hit me? That, oh my God, Kaden and Jaden and Hayden. I'm like, you ain't got on bra or panties. And you at the grocery store. You worried about what I'm saying to the kids. Okay, got it. Roger that. Why we can't just be ourselves? Why we can't just be ourselves? Why is cursing the thing that's bad? But on all shows, people are pouring alcohol like this shit is water. You see what I'm saying? You see the cognitive, this is okay to have a drink. Oh, we're having fun. We're going to full bar at the house. Don't curse around my kids. Okay. Put the alcohol up. You see how that works? Everybody is fronting in some way, and everybody is saying this behavior is acceptable, but this behavior isn't acceptable. And I'm saying, let's bring Miss Darlene online and see what's going to produce a better outcome. I was myself at my corporate job. I never code switched. I couldn't do it. My brain just would not allow me to do it. It wouldn't work. Why do we have to be over here? We had Aletha, Dr. Olawashayi, and Raniel, and now Sarah. And I'm saying it wrong, but not after today. Saying it's okay. People mispronounce my name all the time. Why? Why can't they embrace diversity and figure out how to say your name? Especially if it's going to be some long-term shit happening. Why? Why? Sarah said, I learned that I am hesitant to confirmation, and I put respect on my brain by accepting and acknowledging that truth. I learned that I can be unbiased, Shri said. So we got all this shit. Everybody has to be somebody else, code switching and all this other stuff, trying to get this shit done. And that's why we can't get to the shit that we actually need from a human perspective. I curse on purpose. I'm getting rid of motherfuckers that if all you hear is motherfucker, 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 then you missed the message. You missed the message. I ain't about to take your money. I ain't about to be, hey, how you doing? All right, give me $5,000. I'm not. I'm telling the truth. And sometimes motherfucker makes more sense than saying this person over here. Andrea said that definitely puts company parties with open bar in a different perspective. The management would get blitzed and go crazy. Right. 5 o'clock somewhere. And I will go to my room. Hey, we going to the bar after. I'm going to my room. I'm going to my room. I'm not going to be the only African-American at this event. She'd go left. And now I'm in handcuffs. And I'm the only sober person in the room. No, ma'am. Nope. Not at all. I learned that avoiding dysregulation people at work, it is a plus for me. Daisy, okay. Monique, I learned about myself that I can share the information the way I share it and the steps will light up. Yes, ma'am. I do need the brain video dump. You got to message me because I will not remember. That's your personal accountability is for you. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, as everybody has said everything, Be your real motherfucking self. Because everybody else is taken. I tell y'all, if I get to a video and Monique got a perm and a wrap and she don't have glitter eyeshadow on and her ass got on a non-graphic shirt, some random ass white blouse with a headband on and some neutral ass motherfucking French tips, I might make a trip to New York. Who the fuck is this? Who you dating? What's this? What the hell? Where is Momo the travel fairy at? No more glitter, no more bubbles, no more fairy wings. What the fuck? And I know at your job, you're a chef, so you got to do PPE. You can't have hair and glitter and shit falling in the food. I understand that. But I'm saying outside of that, when you're not serving people delicious meals, what the fuck? So this whole notion that everywhere we go, we got to be somebody else. Why? Why? This assimilation bullshit. For what? For what? Do you know how neurologically exhausting it is to everywhere you go, you got to be something else? I'm not talking about safety. I'm not talking about nose business. We got slip resistant shoes and gloves and clothes on that matches the weather and all. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about who he is when we get there. Y'all don't know how many of her appointments that I'm like, you need to leave that motherfucker. Here's what you need to do and all of that. And I'm standing there with work gloves on, putting shit in the trash can and a trash bag. Because why? LinkedIn is even worse for people faking it. It's part of the reason I can't stand going. You need to go to mine, Andrea. You need to go to mine. Go to my LinkedIn. I think you start following me on there. I don't give a fuck. I got some shit on there like we still playing the corporate game. Why? I've been going from corporate America 16 years. What the fuck is this for? What the fuck is this for? Because if everybody got to bring their whole selves to work, then the work would be better. Then the products would be better. Then the service would be better. Then everything would be better. They act like we about to get a stripper pole in the middle of the thing and go get cinnamon and butter and start turning shit up. That's not going to happen. But I literally had to do it at Frito-Lay. I was the only African-American manager in the Mid-America region. And we would go to off-sites. And I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. Let's have a conversation about shoes. I like shoes. We're going to talk about my hair. I'm not going to keep talking about snowboarding and snowmobiling. I don't do that shit. I don't like cold weather fucking activities. Why not? Embrace diversity. It's like, we going to do you here, and this is the only way that you can be here. For fun, I worked out for 45 minutes. All right, cool, Daisy. That answer is better than that first answer. Because we're going to get to the heart of this. You're going to break through this shit, Daisy. Or you're going to break through or you're going to break down. And then you ain't going to be around. So my point is, be you. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, tell me. I ain't told nobody over here who to fucking worship. Who to fucking love, how to dress, who to vote for, nothing else. That ain't got shit to do with me. What I tell you to do? Strengthen your motherfucking brain and be a bad motherfucker. Whatever that fucking definition is for you, go do that shit. That's what I have said. And that's what I will continue to fucking say. But this whole notion that you got to be somebody else when your individual personality resides in your prefrontal cortex, why you got to be somebody else? Why? Because Oscar wants predictability and comfort and safety and survival. Oscar wants to be able to look at you and identify who the fuck you are. How many times have people been wrong trying to identify me based upon fucking social conformity theory? Been wrong as shit about me. Wrong as hell every fucking time. Trying to use fucking doggone cues. Ain't none of the shit right. You go to school for 10 years. Bitch, I did go to school for 10 years. Well, she curses, so she must be stupid. Anybody on here think I don't know what I'm talking about? Why? Because I said ain't got no. And I didn't say ovariferous inseminations because I didn't go, ha, 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 ha. So neuroscience, yeah. So when I was at university, yes, this industry is amazing. And I think it's just apropos in this moment that we discuss what's actually taking place neurologically in the adolescents, in the youth, in impoverished neighborhoods. Their brains are deteriorating. Who the fuck is that for? And Daisy said to put some respect on Miss Darlene, I decompressed after home from work. It's the whole brain, Daisy, the whole brain. So who's that for? So if you find yourself code switching, if you find yourself personality jumping, ask yourself who's that for? You or them. Why are you in that environment? And it happened with my own progeny. Nola used to have those Bantu knobs on because she's had a thick afro like Colin Kaepernick. And then she cut them off, and then she just had the bun at the top. Her hair is so thick that she then cut that off and now has the appearance that she has. And I was concerned for her safety, number one on TaskRabbit, because people don't like people in the LBGT community. And what happened was she actually got booked more. Took the bun off, and now people are like, oh, shoot, she look like that. She must be able to put some shit together. But for her own sake, I was like, wait a minute. She did not listen to me because I was like, I'm about to go turn into Donna Thomas, make some shit happen. And that didn't take place. But I shouldn't even had to have that as a concern as a parent. Shouldn't even have been a thing. Not at all. But it was. Why? Because some people are discomforted by some things. That's on them. That ain't got shit to do with you. If they're discomforted with you, that's on them. You still do you. Because we can't embrace diversity. People want to embrace diversities. We watch Europeans come from where we live to go downtown. They're going to be on the edge and do a little edgy shit and then come back to the suburbs. Ooh, it's dangerous over here. And get their drugs and then leave and go back to their houses in the suburbs and do that shit. Live your ass down there. You wanted to be down there, live down there, or get rid of it. Because that's not how we need to live. It's not necessary anymore. Or is it? Who's it necessary for? Who needs that in their lives? Who needs the superiority complex? Say, oh, look at the poor people. Oh my God, they're not educated. Oh my God, they're so dumb. Okay. You dumb too. Y'all so smart. Why we don't know how to use our brain? Y'all so smart. Why y'all don't know how to use it? Even if you was gatekeeping, you should know how to use it. Because you don't. Daisy said, I learned about myself today that I have to deal with tangled emotions. Yep, you're going to have to deal with that shit, Daisy, because my foot is coming on your neck because we're not going to keep doing this shit. I'm not going to keep reading these reductive ass Neuro Reps. It's time. Work through that shit. I mean it with every fiber of my being. I want you to hear it from me. Hear it from the horse's mouth. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, be you. Be you. Be the realest you that you could ever do. And let that be your truth every single day. Because you have lived a reductive existence, and where has that gotten you other than neurologically weak? For whose comfort? Who's it for? Who's it for? The reason why I was able to get away with so much in Frito-Lay for the most part was because my numbers was higher than people's. I was doing shit that had never been done before. So somehow, what I looked like didn't matter no more. Somehow, what I pulled up in didn't matter. What I had on didn't matter. Because you know what mattered? That motherfucking money being made and the motherfucking numbers being the numbers, and numbers was numbering. Until I came across Kerry Shields, who wanted to emasculate me. He wanted to castrate me, him and Larry Lighthizer, and I would not. A slave down there in Alabama. So we had to part ways because I refused to acquiesce and not be me. And that's a good thing. I'm grateful to him. I am. Because he made it so I left and never looked back. So be your motherfucking self. That's what you could do. If you don't curse, don't curse. If you do, add some motherfuckers so the people in the back can hear you. If you are not damaging your brain and you are not harming other people, put on as much fucking glitter and all kind of shit that you want. If you want to walk around with a Ronald McDonald outfit on, so fucking be it. If you want to put on a Taylor Brooks Brothers suit, then be that too. But be who you are, because to not be is stressing your brain out. To not be you is causing extra tension. Oh God, what is it? What is it? Don't do that to your brain. Don't do that to your brain. Go work where you are is celebrated and not tolerated. And that's not mine. Somebody else said that online. Stop enduring and compromising for another motherfucker's Oscar-fied existence. Don't do that to your brain. Don't do that to yourself, and don't do that to your legacy, your personal legend, or your life. Fuck them. You talking about somebody that walked away from a corporate job 16 years ago, walked away from their sister, walked away from their family, and look what y'all get, because I'm not dealing with them motherfuckers. Y'all get the realest, wholehearted, transparent person on the fucking universe, because I stopped having to be Dee Dee. I stopped having to be Donna Thomas-Rodgers at Frito-Lay. I could just be fucking Dr. Donna Louise Thomas-Rodgers. And look what we get to experience on a daily basis. Look how much. Because it was clipping my wings. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Now I got 13,500 YouTube videos. The fuck? 150-something thousand posts across social media. Because people can't limit this shit no more. What don't we fucking have? Because you got to be somebody else. Lacey is getting ready to go on a solo trip. Thank you, Monique. And Monique didn't think it had value because of some other stupid fake ass influencers. Hey, get on a jet, guys. So that shit is useless. They just trying to flex. We went to, and then we went to, and then we just trying to get to London. Balling on a budget. How we do that? That's it. We just want to get through customs, get on the plane, get back through customs, and get to our hotel, go have tea, go look at some big bands and some shit, and come on back to life. That's it. So stop letting these fucking fake ass Oscar-fied motherfuckers stop you from being you. You're not looking for their approval or their acceptance. You don't need permission to be the real you. You don't need that. Just be the real you and everything else will start coming to you. That's what the fuck you can do on a daily basis. But fuck being fake. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror every single day. And my final thing to you is if you went to the doctor and they said you got 365 days and your ass is going to be dead, would you still be putting up with the shit you putting up with every day? Or would you find a way to ride it till the motherfucking wheels fall off of these 365 days? If they said you got about 18 motherfucking months, what the fuck would you be doing differently? Would you still be tolerating it? Because people get to the end of their life and say, oh my God. And when you get to level 3, there is a Neuro Rep that says how many days you've been alive. And Dr. Olagun got to his yesterday. And you see them thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking days that you've been here, that number changes you. If you did that Neuro Rep correctly. You're like, damn, I've been here 13,000 days. Fuck! I've been here 20,000 days. What the fuck have I been doing with my life? That's how you live life to the fullest. You don't need a doctor saying, time is ticking. Time is ticking. You making these safe ass fucking decisions for what? You cannot control unless you take your own life. You don't know when the last day is the last day. You don't know if you're going to have some debilitating ass disease and it take you 5 years to check out. You don't know if it's going to be quick. But why you fucking here? Why you fucking here doing this? That shit got to be the best. The baddest, most risk-taking, challenging, innovating ass experience that you can have every day. Today is fucking July 21st. 2026. You ain't never gonna see this motherfucking Tuesday again. Don't be acting like you got another fucking July 21st, 2026, 5 years from now. You don't. You fucking don't have it. So ride this to quote Martin Lawrence, ride this shit till the wheels fall off. All this safe ass, comfortable shit for fucking what? For what? You didn't just come across my path to be regular. You came across my path to tap into your motherfucking bad motherfuckingness so you could be a bad motherfucker where you are, not where I am. So we're not going to keep doing this. Well, I don't know if I should, and I don't know if I could. Don't base nothing. You want, listen, you want to base some shit that you do on somebody because you need to physically see somebody. Base that shit on me. Base that shit on me. What the fuck is possible neurologically? I don't think I can do it. Well, she got 13,500 YouTube videos. I could go live. She's been live for 990 days. I could go live twice a week, consecutive days. If you gonna do that. Because I used to say I am the standard by which excellence is measured. So if you got to measure yourself to a bad motherfucking metric, then yeah, let it be me. Let your ass be motherfucking great too. If she could do it, then I could do it because Can makes the impossible possible. If you need that to see something, bad motherfucker over here, don't be me. Use the fucking system that I use to become me. That's the difference. The system will make you a bad motherfucker. The system, not me. Don't attach it to me. You physically see me. I use the system. Bad motherfucker here. You use the system. Bad motherfucker over there. That's what you do. You use the 74 principles of real leadership. You use personal accountability, neuropability. You use what I'm saying. Use this mechanism. And then real you is going to show up. And that motherfucker going to be way more better, bigger, badder, bolder than this reductive ass doppelganger motherfucker that you walking around as every fucking day. That motherfucker got to go away. Point blank, period. So whoever needed to hear that, whoever watching on the replay, stop being for play and be for real. Okay? Because what the fuck are you reducing yourself for? Who? Who benefits when you are a reductive version of yourself? Not you, not your brain. You're just making somebody else comfortable That's all you doing is making somebody else, some fucking stereotype true, or somebody is comfortable. And you're like, well, yeah, you know, I fed a middle and I was saying, why? For what? Because they got a weak ass brain. Fuck them. And twice on Tuesday. Stop reducing your dimness. Go fucking buy some glitter or your equivalent to that shit. For what? For what? For what? Why? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So get in your default mode network today and self-reflect and self-correct on why you have reduced who you are around different people when you're around them for their comfort, because that's the neurological truth. Their Oscar needs to be predictable and say, this is who you are when you're around me. Well, I don't want you doing all that around me. Okay, bitch, then I won't be around you because I'm going to do all of this and more. I'm going to do all of this and more. So if that's fucking the problem, then I'm going to remove myself from this situation because this is neurotoxicity and I want some neuroclarity. That's what I want. How low can you go? How reductive do you have to be around the people that's in your life? That's what you need to ask yourself. How reductive? If you add water, you African American, we add water to every fucking thing. How much water? You know how ketchup be at the bottom and you pour just enough water in it so you can get it out the bottom, but it's still thick enough? But if you fill that whole fucking container up, you ain't got no more ketchup. You got pink water. Is that what you're doing? You pink water now. You ain't Heinz 57 or the Dollar Tree ketchup. You not that. You fucking pink water and you ain't even Kool-Aid. You pink water. Instead of a little bit of, you can pour a little bit of water in it, you can still use it. Fill that whole 64 ounce up with water, pour it on some shit. It's going to be wet. It's going to be nasty and it ain't going to be ketchup no more. That's what's happening. So you added a little bit of water, a little bit, shook it around. And now you are a reduced version of yourself. Useless and getting used up by a bunch of fucking Oscar-fied motherfuckers. For what? Okay. So God willing, higher power in the universe, I will be back tomorrow. It was a Wednesday. Yeah. So I'll still be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, safe learning space, different brain t-shirt. Y'all go on and sit in y'all motherfucking default mode network and figure out why the fuck you are a reductive version of yourself. Watered down fucking ketchup. Pink water is what I'm going to start calling it. Real leaders wear pink. We ain't pink water. Not at all. Take care. Adios.